Students, welcome back. Today I'm Anuradha from DPS Sundwani Ramachar, going to start another topic of the same chapter, that is biomolecules. Students, if we will recall the previous lectures, we will come to know that we have done the biomicromolecules. And what were the biomicromolecules? Those molecules which can be soluble very easily in case of acid. Okay, these are the acid soluble and it can be passed on through the filter paper or the filtration method very easily, and exceptions were there, lipids. Okay, but we are studying the lipids in the biomicromolecules. Why? Because these are not the acid soluble. Okay, so we can say that the lipids we are categorizing into biomicromolecules due to their nature, not due to its size. Okay, now comes to the same thing, that is biomicromolecules which is having the simpler form. Okay, these are not made up of the simpler form into the complex form. So what are the biomicromolecules? The acid soluble which is having the simpler one. Okay, so out of them we have done the different biomicromolecules, like we have done the simpler one, carbohydrate. Okay, when we will combine all the carbohydrate like monosaccharides, disaccharides, or we can say monosaccharide, oligosaccharide, so what it will form? It will form the polysaccharide. So polysaccharide will come where? Into the biomacromolecules, and the simpler one is the carbohydrate. Okay, so we have done the structure of carbohydrate, the classification of carbohydrate. Okay, like this we have done the second one, that was the amino acids. Amino acids are what? Amino acids are the simpler form or the monomer unit of the protein. So what we can say, amino acids will come under the biomicromolecules, and when they will combine with each other and forms the protein, it will comes under the biomacromolecules. Right here, so like this, if I will talk about the lipids, so fatty acids are there. When they will combine, then they will form the lipids. But the whole lipids or the fats we are categorizing into the biomacromolecules, right? So likewise, the another one which we are going to study today, that is the nucleotides. Okay. Now if I will talk about the nucleotides, nucleotides are what? These are the monomer units of the nucleic acid. What are they? Nucleic acid. And what is a nucleic acid? If I will talk about the DNA or RNA, these are what? These are the nucleic acid, that is the deoxyribonucleic acid and the ribonucleic acid. So these are what? These are the nucleic acid. When these nucleotides will combine with each other, what they are going to form? They are going to form the DNA or RNA. Right here, so we can say these nucleotides are what? These are the monomers of nucleic acids, right? And that's why we are studying under the biomicromolecules, and the nucleic acid we are going to study in the biomacromolecules. Right here, now comes to the nucleotides. So what are these nucleotides? Nucleotides are nothing. These are the combination of three things. Okay, make sure that you must know that what are the nucleotides. These are the addition of three things. What are they? First one is the pentose sugar. Okay, what is it? Pentose sugar. And the second one is the nitrogenous bases, and the third one is the phosphoric acid. Okay, so if I will talk about the pentose sugar, okay, this pentose sugar can be of two types. Pentose means 5 carbon ring. Okay, so if you will see the structure of this pentose sugar, these are some ring like structure. Okay, or we can say the 5 carbon chain is present. Okay, it is a 5 carbon membered chain. Okay, so pentose 5, if I will show you the numbering, it will start from where? From 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth carbon is the hanging one, right? Same thing we can see here. So pentose sugar can be of two types. What are they? Ribose sugar and deoxyribose sugar. Both are somehow same. There is only slight difference. Why this slight difference? It is for making the nucleic acid. It depends on that what type of nucleic acid we are going to make. Okay, if it will form the DNA, the sugar which is being used, it will be different. If it is a RNA, the sugar which is being used, it will be the different one. Okay, so we can say that we are having two different types of pentose sugar, in which again they are having what? They are having 5 carbon, 3 4, and the fifth one is this one, CH2OH. Okay, now this sugar is having the alcohol group, that is CH2OH. What it is having? Alcohol group CH2OH, and here also it is having OH. Okay, so if you will compare the structure ribose and deoxyribose, you can see that resemblance is there. So what is the difference? The difference is that in the second number, okay, in the second carbon, what you will see that what is happening here, you can assume that OH and OH in second as well as third carbon chain. Okay, if you will see here, what you are seeing at the second as well as third, you can see OH group. Okay, this OH group is hydroxy group. Now if I will talk about the deoxyribose, in deoxyribose, what you can see in the second number, there will be no OH group. Okay, what it happens? D means to detach something, oxy means to detach oxygen group. When we are detaching the oxygen group, this is known as deoxy, and we are detaching from where? From the ribose sugar. That's why it is known as deoxyribose. Okay, so what you can see here, that in deoxyribose there will be no OH group in the carbon chain. So at the both end it is surrounded by the hydrogen only. Okay, so we can say that we need the pentose sugar, and this pentose sugar can be of two types, ribose as well as deoxyribose. Okay, now another point about this ribose and deoxyribose, what you can write, that first point I have made you clear. Second thing is that in case of ribose is used to make what? RNA, and deoxyribose is used to make DNA, right? Third point, very important, is that what is the need or what is the function of this detachment of OH group? More the OH group, lesser will be the stability. What it is? More the OH group, as in case of ribose sugar, the OH group is, or we can say OH groups are more. We are having two OH group. Okay, in second and third, already in the fourth carbon also, but in second and third, if I will compare with the ribose to deoxyribose, what is happening here? That we are detaching one OH group. Due to that, the stability will be more, and we need what type of genetic material? The DNA. In case of human beings, what we are having? We are having DNA. DNA is that genetic material or the nucleic acid which is more stable. Okay, so we can say that DNA is made up of deoxyribose instead of that ribose sugar. Why? Because it is having less hydroxy group, and it is more stable and less reactive. Okay, more the OH group, it having the tendency of reactivity will be more. So reactive should be less, stability will be more. This should be the criteria. Okay, so we have done that DNA is the important genetic material. Then comes to the nitrogenous bases. Nitrogenous bases, again it is one of the composition for the nucleotide, right? So nitrogenous bases can be of two types. What are they? Purine as well as pyrimidine. Okay, what are they? Purine as well as the pyrimidine. So purine is what? If I will talk about the characteristics of purine, it is a two-membered ring. Okay, if you will see the diagram of structure of the purine, it is form of two cyclic rings. If you will see the structure of the pyrimidine, it is one membered ring. Okay, one cyclic membered ring. Why we are studying this purine and pyrimidine? Because again again, if we have to make different types, so what is required? The purine as well as pyrimidine. So we are having two different types of purine. What are they? Adenine and the guanine. Okay, and the pyrimidines are thymine and cytosine. Or now it depends upon the nucleic acid which is going to be made, like DNA or RNA. So these two purine as well as this thymine and cytosine is what? It is for what? It is for DNA. And out of them, adenine, guanine and thymine is common for the DNA as well as RNA. The difference is that in case of RNA, in place of cytosine, what we will see? Uracil. Okay, otherwise everything is common in DNA and RNA. So what is the difference? Due to this uracil is only present in case of RNA instead of that cytosine. This one is clear here. Now, what happens in DNA structure? We know about the ribose sugar, nitrogenous bases. These nitrogenous bases having nitrogen containing compound. Okay, what they are having? They are having the nitrogen containing compound, and these adenine, guanine, thymine, cytosine, all these are nitrogen containing. Okay, and due to that, what will happen? There will be pairing in this nitrogenous bases, and always if you will see, adenine will combine with thymine and guanine will combine with cytosine. Okay, but in case of RNA, the guanine will combine with the uracil. Otherwise, everything will be same. Okay, so what we have done, we required the first requirement, that is pentose sugar, right, which can be the ribose as well as deoxyribose. Second thing, what is required? Nitrogen bases in which nitrogen containing compounds are there. And the third thing which is required, that is phosphoric acid. Okay, what is phosphoric acid? If I will talk about H3PO4. Okay, this type of compound is what? H3PO4, and this compound is providing acidity to the genetic material. If I will talk about the nucleic acid DNA. Okay, so DNA structure having the phosphoric acid also, which is providing what? Acidic nature. And this, due to this acidic nature, we can say that DNA is acidic. Okay, if question will be asked that DNA is the basic nature or acidic nature, what you should be your answer? The acidic, and this acidity is due to what? Due to the phosphoric acid, because we know that it is acid. And the phosphoric acid is what? H3PO4. So this H3PO4 is also attached with these two compounds. Okay, when they will combine all these three, what we are getting here? The nucleotides. Right here. So phosphoric acid is also there, due to which the phosphate group will be attached into the molecule, whether it is a DNA or the RNA. Right here. So what we have done about the nucleotides, three compounds. On the basis of that, we are having two terms. This term are very important. What are they? Nucleoside and the nucleotide. Okay, so what is the difference between nucleoside and nucleotide? So we can say that nucleoside, okay, side, it is present only, or we can say it is the combination of only two things. What are they? Pentose sugar and nitrogenous bases. When we are going to combine the pentose sugar with the nitrogenous bases, what it will form? It will form the nucleoside, right? When we are combining the phosphoric acid into this nucleoside, what it will form? It will form the nucleotide, right? So what we have written, nucleoside is what? Pentose sugar and the nitrogenous bases, when they are combining, they are forming nucleoside. And the second one is nucleotide. The whole structure, when it will combine with each other, then only it will form the nucleotide. Right here. So nucleotide is what? In simpler form, I have written that nucleoside plus phosphate group. Okay, and nucleoside is what? If you will go for the simplification of this nucleoside, it is nothing. It is the combination of pentose sugar and the nitrogenous bases, and whole we are saying nucleotide. And these nucleotide, when they will combine, okay, if one nucleotide and then second nucleotide and third nucleotide, what it will form? It will form the nucleic acid. Right here? So what is happening here? We can see that we need the pentose sugar, okay, and that nitrogenous bases and the phosphate group. So if I will draw the structure of DNA is what? Double helix structure. Okay, if you will see the structure like this, so what you are, it is a double helix structure like this. So these are combined. So this chain is what? Nucleotides. In this one we are having different types of nucleotides, then we are having different type of nucleotide, here also we are having different types of nucleotides. So they will combine with each other. What they are going to do? They will combine with each other and they will form the different types of DNA or the RNA. Okay, now if we'll go for the skeleton structure of this DNA, what you can see that this backbone is what? This phosphate. Okay, and these are combined with what? For example, this is sugar. Okay, this sugar is what? It is the ribose sugar or maybe the deoxyribose sugar. These sugar molecule are attached, okay, with the help of this phosphate, and this sugar is combined with the nitrogen here, then nitrogen here. Like this we are having different chain. Okay, what we are having? So this one, nitrogen, sugar, phosphorus, nitrogen, sugar, phosphorus. So how many nucleotides? For first nucleotide this one, second nucleotide this one, third one this one. Like we can make a long chain of this nucleotide here also. Likewise we have to draw from the opposite side. Why? Because we are combining the two chains of nucleotides to form a DNA. So when they will combine like this also, nitrogen, then it is combined with sugar, then sugar, okay, then these are connected with what? With the help of the phosphate. Okay, like this we can say nitrogen is there, nitrogen combined with sugar, and sugar with combined with phosphate. Okay, so this long chain we can get here, and these two nitrogen from this strand and this strand, they are combined with the help of hydrogen bond. Okay, with the help of hydrogen bond. So you will understand all these things in the DNA part, but here what is my concern? To make you understand that what we have done here, we have added the chain of the nucleotides to form the nucleic acid. Okay, now comes to the bonds. These bonds are very important. As I have said, sugar will combine with nitrogenous bases. See here, when sugar is combining with the nitrogenous bases, so the bond which is present between these two, okay, sugar and nitrogen. So what is this bond? This bond is known as the glycosidic bond. Okay, why glycosidic bond? Because the bond which is present due to the sugar, okay, because these are present in the sugar, and sugar is what? Pentose sugar. That's why we are saying glycosidic. Glucose is what? Sugar. So due to the name of this glycosidic, due to that sugar. Okay, now comes to the another bond, that is the ester bond. Ester bond is present where? We can say that between the nucleoside and the phosphate group. What is the nucleoside? If I will show this structure here, what is the nucleoside part? This sugar and this nitrogen is a nucleoside part. This sugar and this nitrogen is a nucleoside part. This sugar and nitrogen is a nucleoside part. Okay. When it will combine with this phosphorus, then it will form the nucleotide. Okay. So bond present in the sugar and nitrogenous bases, we have done glycosidic bond, and this the bond which is present between this nucleoside, okay, the nucleoside, that is sugar nitrogen, and it is combined with, so what type of bond it is? It is the ester bond. And what are the ester bond? What are the ester bond? Ester bonds are formed when we are combining the acid plus alcohol. Okay, whenever there is a combination between acid plus alcohol, what it is going to make? It is going to make ester. We have done this thing earlier also. Okay, so for example, if it is a RCOOH, okay, if general RCOH or the ROH, what happens? From the acid we are removing the OH group, and from alcohol we are removing the hydrogen molecule. So what it is releasing? It is releasing H2O. Okay, whenever there is a combination of acid plus alcohol, from acid we will remove the hydroxy group, and from the alcohol we will remove the H group, and due to that it will form the water molecule. After releasing the water molecule, what it is going to make? RCOOR, and this is for what? For the ester. Esters are what? Esters are the things which are formed by the combination of acid and alcohol. So same thing it is happening here also. What we are having? We are having the acid, that is phosphoric. This phosphate will act as the acid and the sugar. Okay, if you will see the simpler structure of sugar of ribose, what you can see that it contains the OH group. What it contains? It contains the OH group here, CH2OH. So this CH2OH, when it will combine with this phosphorus, okay, this end one, that is a 5 dash end. Okay, the 5 dash end will combine with this phosphorus. What it will form? It will form the ester. So what you can see here, that is the ester bond. And what is the specific characteristics of DNA? DNA having the phosphodiester bond. This is the characteristic bond of the DNA, right? So what is the characteristic bond of DNA? That is a phosphodiester bond. Why we are saying phosphodiester? Due to the phosphorus it is forming. Diester means two ester are forming. You can see that this phosphorus is attached with the first sugar here and this sugar here also. So what it is forming? Two ester bond. So that's why it is known as phosphodiester bond. If it is only attached with the help of the acid and sugar, phosphorus and sugar, what they are forming? They will form the ester. Right here. So we can say that they are having what? They are having ester bond between the nucleoside and the phosphate group. Okay, in simpler form, if I will show the structure, now I have said that it is ribose sugar. So this ribose sugar, how we can make it the nucleotide? Okay, so here I am showing the simpler diagram. For example, this is what? This is what we have formed, ribose sugar, which is having the OH group here, and we said again OH group is present where? Here also. Okay, in deoxyribose we have detached this one, so here what we will form? H, then OH and H. Why we are writing? Because there should be no polarity. If it will, otherwise it will be reactive, and in this part you can see CH2OH. Okay, this is a diagram of what? Ribose sugar. Now if I have to change it into nucleoside or the nucleotide, what is required? I said that we have to combine the purines or the nitrogenous bases. These nitrogenous bases can be anything: adenine, guanine, cytosine, uracil, anything. So if I will replace this OH. First of all, the first carbon chain. Okay, the first one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one is the fifth one. So in the first one, what you will add? The nitrogenous bases. Again, I am saying that this nitrogenous bases can be anything. It may be adenine, guanine, cytosine, or the uracil, right? Now, the second thing which we have till here, what we have made? We have made only the nucleoside. Okay. How nucleotide will form? When this phosphoric H3PO4 will combine with CH2OH. So how it will combine? I am writing here in a simpler form that this is CH2. Okay. And it is OH. We can write like this. Now what we have to do? We have to add the H3PO4. What we have to do? We have to add the H3PO4, and how we can make the diagram of or the structure of H3PO4 is that we are having what? Phosphate, and in all four sides we can attach what? O, O and O. So how many O are there? 4 O, right? At one O we can form the double bond, and we are having how many H? We are having 3H, H3PO4. So we will attach H, H and H at 3 places, right? So when this phosphoric acid will combine with this alcohol, it is alcohol, and this OH. Don't confuse between these two. This OH is for what? For the acid, and this OH is for what? Alcohol. So from acid, what we are going to remove? OH. Okay, and from alcohol we will remove only H. So what it is happening? It is removing the water molecule. It is releasing the water molecule and forming the ester bond. Okay, when it will release the ester bond, what we have left here? This type of structure. Okay, that is CH2O PO, that phosphate group. Right here. So what you will say, this structure is nucleotide, as well as when we have removed it, it has formed the ester bond. Likewise, when this phosphate group again attached with the another one, okay, so like this we have made the chain here, so it will combine with the two ester molecule. Here also we are having OH, right? So these OH molecule again attached with another one, and it will form what? It will form the another bond, and due to that what we will get? We will get the two ester bond, and that's why it is a phosphodiester bond. And how it has been made, we have seen here. Okay, so we can say that when they will combine, they will form some structure. It will form the nucleoside as well as the nucleotide. So what are this nucleoside? Okay, example, if I will say that instead of this nitrogenous base, if I will add the adenine, so what type of structure it will form? It will form the adenosine. Okay, one by one I will tell you how the name will change here. You must know that what should be the naming. When it will attach adenine, the whole structure will known as what? Adenosine, right? Likewise, but the condition is that if I will talk about only this structure, we are not adding this phosphate group. Okay, if I will show the simpler diagram like this O, this C, this adenine is attached here, then we can say in case of ribose we are having HOH, then OH, H, and here CH2OH, right? So this diagram is known as what? Adenosine. When we will combine this phosphoric acid in this structure, what it will form? Adenylic acid. So two things we have to understand. If it is only this type of structure with adenosine, so it will form what? Adenine, it will form adenosine, and when it will combine with phosphoric acid, it will form the adenylic acid. Likewise, you can make different types of nucleoside as well as nucleotide. Examples, now you just remove this adenine and just join the what? That guanine. Okay, when you will add this guanine here, what it will form? When you will attach this guanine here, it will form guanosine. Okay, instead of adenosine, what you will get? Guanosine, right here. And when you will attach this phosphoric acid, what you will say? That guanylic acid. Okay, likewise, if I will add this thymine here, if I will attach thymine here, what it will form? It will form again the thymidine. Now you will not say thymosin. Okay, the difference is that in case of pyrimidine, whatever it will form the nucleoside, what you will say? It will known as a thymidine, right? Likewise, when you will attach this guanine here with this phosphoric acid also, guanylic acid, right? Likewise, what we are having? We are having different thing, that is cytosine. Okay, when the cytosine will attach here, what you will form? Cytidine, right? What it will form? Cytidine. Like this, when phosphoric acid will be there, then cytidinic acid. Same thing when you will call about the uracil. When it will attach uracil here, what it will form? It will form the uridine. Okay, so likewise, what is required? Is required that we must know that what type of nucleoside and what type of nucleotide is going to form, right here. So this is all about what? Nucleotides. When you know about these nucleotides, you can easily understand the structure of DNA. Okay, for your information, one more important thing which I want to discuss if I will talk about the DNA, how many bonds we have done? We have done the glycosidic bond, which is present between the sugar and nitrogenous bases. Another one is the ester bond, which is present between this phosphate and the sugar molecule, okay, or we can say between the nucleoside. The third one, that one is the hydrogen bond, okay. Hydrogen bond is also there, which is present between two nitrogenous bases, and these nitrogenous bases, when it will combine with A with T, so there will be combination of A double bond T. Always and always adenine combined with thymine with the help of double bond, and the G guanine with which one, cytosine, it will combine with the help of triple bond, right? So A with T, G with C, and like this the whole strand, the two strand are combined, A, T, G, C, like this, okay. So now we have completed another monomer or the biomicromolecules of the nucleotides. Okay. Now some important thing are always there, that is the metabolites. You will come to know that about this term. What are the metabolites? As we are understanding the biomicromolecules as well as the biomicromolecules, we can say that these are present in our body, and these are present in our body in which form? In form of organic one. Okay, what are they? These are the organic biomolecules. And what are the biomolecules? Which contains the carbon compound. Okay, those things which is present in the living beings in form of carbon one. Okay, why we are using the word organic? Because we are distinguishing it from the carbon dioxide, because in carbon dioxide also we are having the carbon, but that carbon will not be the organic one. CO2 is an inorganic, okay, and the rest of the carbon containing compounds, they are the organic. All these things when these are present in the living beings, these are known as organic biomolecules, okay. So these biomolecules are very, very important for the living organisms. Why? Because whatever the metabolic activity takes place in our body, it takes place with the help of these biomolecules. Whether it can be the micro or it can be the macro, but both are important for the metabolic activity. Okay, what are this metabolic activity? Anabolism, catabolism, okay. So these activity is required for the proper growth and development of the living organism. So we can say that these metabolites are what? These are the organic biomolecules, and these biomolecules contains both, okay, both micro as well as macro, and it helpful for the metabolic activity of the individual or the living organisms. Right here. So we have categorized the metabolites into two parts. Okay. Classification is what? Primary metabolites and the secondary metabolites. So here question comes that what is primary metabolites and what are the secondary metabolites. So primary means that it is the primary one which is needed more and more. Okay. So primary metabolites are very important. Secondary metabolites are important, but not that much as compared to the primary. Okay. Another point, the primary metabolites we are getting from the animals. Okay. Why? Because we know that carbohydrate, proteins, nucleic acid, all these are important for our body. Okay. So all these comes under what? The primary metabolites. Right. Now the secondary metabolites we are extracting from the plants. Okay. And the information is not that much identified as compared to the primary metabolites. So what can be the example of secondary metabolites? Like terpenes, alkaloids which we are extracting from the plants, then essential oils. So all these comes under the secondary one. Right here. So we have done two types of metabolites, primary metabolites and the secondary metabolites. Now comes to the another one, another bio macromolecules. As I have said that we are having the cellular pull of the cellular pull of the biomolecules, biomicromolecules. We have done all the things in the biomicromolecules. Now we will start with the biomacromolecules, because these are also part of what? Part of the metabolites. right? So this biomacromolecules is what? These are the polymers. Polymers means when we are combining something, okay? Polymerization is what? Polymerization is a method in which we are increasing the chain, okay? If it is amino acids, we have done different amino acids, okay? When they will combine with each other, what they are going to form? Polymer. Amino acid is a monomer and the whole chain it is known as polymer. Okay, so polymer, if I will talk about all the biomacromolecules, so these are the polymers of the monomer unit, okay, or the micromolecules. Same thing if I will talk about the glucose, okay, when we are combining the carbohydrate or the glucose, what is happening? It will form the polysaccharide, okay. Saccharides are what? Sugar. When we are combining the sugar, what we are getting? Polysaccharide, right? Like this, about the this nucleic acid, when the nucleotides will combine, it will form the nucleic acid. So biomacromolecules are always and always polymers, and the micromolecules, these are the monomers, right? So these are the polymers, and one by one we will understand that what are the different types of biomacromolecules. And we are having what? Proteins, carbohydrate in which form? In the form of polysaccharide. We will not say carbohydrate here because we have done in the biomicromolecules. Here what it will come here? Polysaccharides, right? And the third one is the nucleic acid. Yes, fourth, lipids we are categorizing into the biomacromolecules. The reason is that because it will not be able to pass on through the filtrate, as it will entangle with the mass or the cells of the crushed form. Okay, that's where we are categorizing into the lipids, right? And the biomacromolecules are what? Which is having the size more than the 1000 Dalton. Okay, yes, the lipid size is less, but reason I have told you that what is that? Because it can get entangled with the cells, right here. So one by one we will understand these types of biomacromolecules. Okay, to understand these biomacromolecules, we are having the what? Polymers. We are saying these are the polymers. So these polymers can be of two types. What are they? Homopolymer and heteropolymer. We know about the homogeneous and heterogeneous. Homogeneous, when we are having same type, okay. Hetero means when we are having different types. Same thing here also. In case of homopolymer, when we are having this one type of monomer, okay. If there is only one type of monomer, for example, if I will talk about the starch, starch is what? It is a stored form of sugar in case of plants. So what is happening? Same glucose, when they will add, they will form the starch. Okay, so what is the starch? It is the homopolymer because it is formed by the same type of monomer unit. Now comes to the heteropolymer, when we are having different types of monomer. If I will talk about the proteins, proteins we know that it is a combination of amino acids. Amino acids can be of different types. It can be alanine, it can be valine, it can be serine. Okay, so when these amino acids or the different types of amino acid will combine, it will form the protein, right? So we can say that when they are combining different types of monomers, it is known as heteropolymer, right? So we have done whole about the biomicromolecules, and in the latest classes we will come to understand about these biomacromolecules, right? So that's all for today. Thank you.